This is CBS 47 Action News Jax at noon. Local coverage you can count on.
Right now at noon, 2 children will live the rest of their lives without their mother. She drowned in a crash at this local park. We asked the city about safety changes that they plan to make.
Plus, right now, 9 people have been brought to JSO headquarters following a shooting at a house in Mixontown. The plea from neighbors who say their kids can't grow up in a safe environment. Thank you for joining us on Action News Jax at noon. I'm Leticia Barriola in for Phil Amato.
And I'm Dawn Lopez. Action News Jax Elizabeth Pay spoke with some neighbors who say that crime lingers around one particular house in this neighborhood.
Police have now opened up Nixon Street, but we still find this corner house blocked off by police tape. And when we look a little bit closer on the front porch there, that bench, we can see one of police's evidence markers. JSO says this is where a man was shot and killed this morning.
Why? Why does this have to happen in our neighborhood?
This is what neighbors in Mixontown are asking today. Avery Evans was leaving his house when he saw this police tape.
When are we going to stop this and realize we need each other?
Police say a man was shot and killed in a house on Nixon Street around 4 a.m. At least 6 other people were home at the time. We found some of them talking to police on the street.
When patrol arrived, they located a vehicle leaving the scene. That vehicle was stopped. There were 3 people inside. They've been detained as well.
Those 3 people, along with 6 others who were inside the house, were brought downtown for questioning. Neighbors say it's not the first time police have been called to this house, and they're frustrated with the crime. Evans says they've talked about moving.
I want my wife and daughter to be in a safe environment where we can live and come outside and ride our bicycles and walk down the street in a safe environment.
I looked up any crime in this area on the JSO crime map, and I actually found that a reported aggravated assault and a battery were reported in this neighborhood within the last 2 weeks. And I asked JSO about it, and they said they're working to find if that could be related to this case. Reporting in Mixontown, Elizabeth Pay, CBS 47, Action News Jax.
In Nassau County, the sheriff's office confirms that a bicyclist is being treated for injuries after being hit by a car. That accident happened within the last 2 hours on First Coast Highway. That's in Amelia Island. We're still working to learn what led up to that accident, but we're told the bicyclist has minor injuries this noon. Leticia?
Right now, officers are searching for one more inmate who escaped a juvenile justice facility in North Jacksonville. This is a picture here of the 16-year-old Taja Bing. He was at the facility for a lewd and lascivious on a victim younger than 12 charge. He has now been on the run for more than 36 hours. Now, police believe Bing is in this stolen car here. It's a bronze 4-door Infiniti with a Florida tag, lane 19. JSO says Bing and 3 other inmates stole keys to that car from a staff member. JSO asking anyone who sees him or the stolen car to call them immediately. Now, JSO says Bing and 3 other inmates planned their escape. According to police, Bing and the other escapees staged a fight in their dorm room, attacked staff who came to break it up there. They then fought with staff in a control room and were able to push a button to open the front door. Now, Action News Jax has been updating you about Bing and those 3 other escapees since Saturday. We got a timeline to kind of put this in context for you as this whole escape unfolded. All 4 escaped before 11 Saturday night. Now, someone at the Jacksonville Youth Academy called JSO at around 11:02. JSO put out a tweet just before 1 a.m. And then they shared photos of the escapees around 1:54. JSO then followed up with an email to the media. That's about 2:04 a.m. Now, the first escapee was found before 8:30 Sunday morning. A second escapee was found less than 2 hours later. That's at 10:05. The third was found before 7 p.m. on Sunday night. Now, Action News Jax has all of this information on our mobile app if you want to see it for yourself. You can also sign up for alerts as we get more details of the search. Just search Action News Jax in your app store.
Get ready for a little break, a slight break in the heat. The First Alert Weather Team says that an unseasonable cold front and I hesitate calling it a cold front, is making its way to the area. I'm here with Action News Jack's First Alert meteorologist Garrett Beatonbaugh right now in the Weather Center. And one thing is for sure, there's a change in temperatures, but lower temperatures, higher chance for rain.
Yeah, we're going to get more clouds, more raindrops here eventually here in the First Alert 7-day forecast. Right now, we're going to track some of those daily downpours into the afternoon hours. You can see right now, 5-speed First Alert Doppler HD already tracking some heavy downpours closer to the Big Bend and the Gulf of Mexico, also offshore in the Atlantic. But over land right now in our area here, it's pretty much dry. You can see we did have a few showers already begin to initiate on the sea breeze in the last 1 to 2 scans actually there in southern St. Johns County, and also looks like up here near the Nocatee area too. So already seeing some showers beginning to develop. That'll continue to blossom as we head through the afternoon. Some heavy downpours, frequent lightning, and a gusty wind or two possible as we head into the afternoon. You can see here, especially inland through 5 and 6 and 7 p.m. And also, we are watching the tropics for you here in the Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center. Disturbance in the Bahamas. Low probability of development over the next 24 to 36 hours, though. We're going to watch it for you. Going to be an increase of moisture for South Florida at least over the next 24 hours. Our next name, Chantal, on the 2019 Atlantic hurricane season list. But again, a low probability of development. I'm tracking in the 7-day forecast a cold front. There it comes for the midweek time frame when the thunderstorms increase. That's coming up in your First Alert 7-day forecast.
New this noon, the city of Jacksonville is reviewing safety at Hanna Park. And that's where a mother of 2 drove right into a lake and drowned. In the past 90 minutes, Action News Jax confirmed that it's among several parks in the area that investigators are looking at now. Action News Jax Brittany Donovan shows us the changes that some families are calling for.
This dirt road at Hanna Park is not quite as wide as a 2-lane street, and you can see it dead ends behind me. There are several areas where you can turn around, and police say that's what this mother was trying to do. But now some families are wondering if more could have been done to stop her from going into this water. There are no dead-end signs on this dirt road that would have warned Kathy Paredes she'd have to turn around. Family gave us this photo of the mom of 2. Police say she was making a 3-point turn here when her car ended up in the water. Officers were able to rescue her 5-year-old daughter, but Paredes drowned.
Accidents happen all over the place, but to prevent something like that, it's definitely worth looking into getting barriers.
Today was Victoria Williams' first time at Hanna Park.
That's one of the first things I noticed when I drove up was that there was no barriers on the side here, especially next to a lake.
We drove around and saw several open areas where a car could drive into the lake. I started asking the city questions Saturday after Paredes' death and confirmed it is looking into potential safety improvements at the park.
I hope that maybe, the $5 that you pay to come in gets put to good use every day to keep the parks up and to possibly make it safer for everyone.
I asked Action News Jax law and safety expert Dale Carson if the city is responsible for putting barriers here along the water. Ahead at 5, the steps he says they should have taken to prevent this from happening. Reporting at Hanna Park, Brittany Donovan, CBS 47, Action News Jax.
There's a rabies alert this noon for families living in Nassau County. The health department says that an otter tested positive for the virus. We've created this map here to show you where officials are asking families to be on high alert. Pet owners, be sure that your pet's vaccinations are up to date. This rabies alert will be in effect over the next 60 days unless otherwise told.
A new program in Clay County could help people who suffered flood damage during Hurricane Irma. The Rebuild Florida Home Buyout Program lets people sell their home to the state. It's a way to help you move out of flood-prone areas before another storm hits. There's a public meeting on the program today at 7. It's at the Middleburg Public Library on Astor Avenue. New information this noon involving one of the most severe data breaches in U.S. history. Equifax has agreed to pay up to $700 million in a settlement with the FTC. Now, if approved, up to $425 million will go to consumers. We told you nearly 2 years ago when Equifax said that hackers accessed personal information of nearly 150 million Americans. A safety warning if you're doing the laundry this noon. And this is if you have a Whirlpool dryer. The company is recalling 800,000 tumble dryers in the UK and the US because of a fire risk. The dryers under the recall were made between 2004 and 2015, and they're under the brands listed right here on your screen. There it is. Hot Point, as you can see here, Swan is among them as well. Whirlpool says that anyone with an affected dryer should unplug it immediately. Customers with affected dryers will be offered a free replacement, modification, or refund. For anyone living in St. Augustine, your water may taste a little different. City leaders say crews are adjusting the chlorine and ammonia levels. They want you to know this does not affect the quality of your water. The process will take about 2 more weeks to complete.
Well, listen to this. If you don't have dental insurance, this next event could be for you. Arlington River Family Dental is hosting a free dentistry day. So doctors say that this is a day where they can share their time and resources with those less fortunate. So right now, 108 million Americans don't have dental insurance. This free dentistry day will be held on August 17th, and patients will be taken on a first-come, first-served basis.
In St. Johns County, the Sheriff's Office is inviting you to their National Night Out. The deputies will have all their crime-fighting tools on display, including cruisers and motorcycles, their helicopters, robots, even some canines there. You can join them Tuesday night at the St. Johns County Beach Pier. It begins at 5.
SpaceX has rescheduled the launch of its Falcon Heavy rocket. It was scheduled to launch from Cape Canaveral Sunday night, but was pushed back to Wednesday just before 6:30 p.m. The rocket will head to the International Space Station for a resupply mission. And of course, we'll bring you the launch live as it happens on Action News Jax and the Action News Jax mobile app.
And from the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, meteorologist Garrett Beatonbaugh right now in First Alert Doppler HD, tracking some showers already forming. More on the way today when we see an increase of coverage of rain and storms too. That's coming up in your Action News Jax First Alert 7-day forecast.
For local students who don't want to go to college and you're considering alternative education, stick around. Coming up next at noon, Action News Jax consumer advisor Clark Howard shows you ways to save some money.
Plus, not your typical fishing trip. The thief a group of fathers and sons say came out of nowhere to snag their catch of the day.
What to watch, brought to you by Ashley Home Store.
The countdown is on for local students headed back to school. And for graduates who are unsure about attending college, Action News Jax consumer advisor Clark Howard outlines what you need to know about trade schools.
When somebody graduates from high school, they're asked, well, what are you going to do next? And often the assumption is they're going to go off to college. But not everybody's interested in traditional college. You're interested in getting a skill, going to a trade or technical or vocational school. And there are wonderful careers, a lot that are in heavy demand that pay really well. But be very wary and careful with any school you're looking at that charges big money for you to go there. What I'd like you to do when there's a field you're interested in, talk to employers in that field. Ask them where they get their best new hires from, what schools. It may be a state-supported technical college that'll cost you almost nothing to attend. But whatever schools you hear consistently is the ones that employers like to hire from, those are the ones that should be on your list. I'm Clark Howard.
Students in Duval County will head back to school in 3 weeks. Action News Jax wants to make sure your child has everything they need. So we're collecting school supplies for students at the St. John's Town Center next week, just 8 days away. So we're going to be set up at the Roundabout. This is near Maggiano's, July 30th from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. Now keep in mind, we're accepting everything from backpacks to pencils. So we hope to see you out there.
Dawn's already got her stuff. I love it. Products sold locally could be dangerous. Action News Jax anchors John Bachman and Tanika Hughes are in the studio with a look what's ahead on CBS 47.
An Action News Jax investigation uncovered something about products sold locally that could put your safety at risk.
Companies accused of illegal shortcuts to save money.
So it's extremely important for the consumer to know what they're buying.
We're exposing the secrets that launched a federal investigation across the country.
That's today at 5:45 on CBS 47.
Now, I want to give you a live look out at the Jacksonville baseball grounds. Here it is. This is where every night this week the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp will be out on the diamond. So the team begins a 5-game series tonight against the Biloxi Shuckers. First pitch is at 7:05, and they're the ones who are going to get shucked. Today on ESPN 690 with our Britt Martineau and former Jags player Austin Lane. Football season kicks off with quarterbacks and rookies reporting to work today. Also, Austin won his MMA fight over the weekend. We need to see that video. And the segment Ballin' and Fallin'. Tune in to the fastest growing sports radio station in Jacksonville. Action Sports Jax ESPN 690 weekdays from 3 until 6 p.m. You can also stream it on ESPN690.com.
A father and son fishing trip nearly turned into a scene out of Jaws when a great white shark snagged their catch of the day. Check out the cell phone video. We got it. Doug Nelson says he was out on Cape Cod Bay this past Saturday when, you see there, the boys there hooked a good size fish. As they were reeling it in, the shark jumped in the air, snatched that snack. The family says, wow, they missed on a good meal. This is one fishing trip they will never forget, especially for that kiddo right there.
Now certified Jacksonville's most accurate weather forecast. Action News Jax First Alert Weather.
First Alert meteorologist Garrett Beadenwall right now live look from Riverside on the Action News Jax First Alert Skycam network from the Florida Blue buildings. Puffy cumulus clouds are already beginning to form, and so they'll eventually be producing some showers and heavy downpours. It's also pretty warm. In the upper 80s is where we are right now at the International Airport. Mid 80s for you in St. Augustine. Low 80s though in Lake City. There's some relief on the way from the heat. We're going to make it to the low 90s this afternoon and on Tuesday, but as we go into Wednesday, we'll be in the mid to upper 80s for our afternoon highs, and that's thanks to a cold front. I'll time out for you here in just a second. But the next 12 hours will be in the low 90s in Jacksonville, but notice as we go through 2, 3, 4, 5 p.m., especially in the inland communities, we'll be seeing those showers and storms continuing to develop. So let's check 5-sweep First Alert Doppler HD right now. See those storms in the west coast sea breeze there as you go into, say, the Big Bend area, but also down into St. Johns County, St. Augustine shores by 12:32. This downpour beginning to develop on a little bit of a sea breeze. It's already showing up and kind of moving off with these individual cells from south to north. You can see near the Nocatee area right now, zooming into street level mapping here in northern St. Johns County. You can see 0.64 inch per hour rainfall rates. So some brief heavy downpours right now over Nocatee. Also into Duval County, a few hit and miss sprinkles perhaps over the intracoastal, but that's about it right now. We'll see the sea breeze continue to advance inland and produce those showers and thunderstorms. So here we go, hour by hour for you, 1, 2, 3 o'clock. There will be those storms beginning to develop and advancing inland, but as we go into the late afternoon and early evening, our winds in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere will change to out of the south to the north, to out of the southwest to the north and east. And so we'll have a tendency for some of these showers and storms to try to make it back at least to I-95, maybe even the coastal areas through this evening. Something Chief Meteorologist Mike Burge will be tracking for you later on today and beginning at 5 on CBS47. As we go into Tuesday, a dry start, but we'll see some afternoon scattered showers and thunderstorms again, making it all the way to the coastline where they do develop. And we'll be watching a cold front as well moving in for your Wednesday. So that's when we get those cooler temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, but also some heavy rainfall amounts. Could see 2 to 3+ inches of rain before it's all said and done, especially for the I-10 corridor, the Florida-Georgia border, as that front will hang out into Thursday. So your Action News Jax First Alert 7-day forecast with your weekend always in view, back to near 90 degrees for Friday. And then here comes the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, some afternoon variety showers and thunderstorms with temperatures back to near average there in the low 90s. You can always get this forecast any time of the day and download the free Action News Jax First Alert weather app right there at actionnewsjax.com.
Coming up all new at noon, a message in a bottle found on a Florida beach. The instructions left inside that reunited a man with his note 24 years later. England's future king turns 6 years old today. These are new pictures of a very happy Prince George, taken by his mother. Look at her photography skills. The Duchess of Cambridge. George is the great-grandson of Queen Elizabeth II, of course, and he's third in line for the throne behind his grandfather and his father.
Cute little family.
They are. A Florida man has made a new friend after he found a message in a bottle 24 years after it was written.
Yeah, Gary Hendrickson said he was walking along the Gulf Coast during Memorial Day weekend when he stumbled upon this bottle. Inside, he found a note saying, "Hello, June 16th, 1995, Frankfort, Michigan. I've tossed this bottle into the water to bring joy to anyone who finds it. This whiskey bottle was full a few short hours earlier, If you find this, call me. I'll buy you a drink. So Hendrickson took a chance and texted the number, and sure enough, the same man who wrote it answered. The two have been in touch ever since.
Text?
Yes. Oh, a live look over our beaches. Maybe you will find a message in a bottle today.
Showers and thunderstorms continue to develop this afternoon with highs in the low 90s, inland 80s at the coast.
87? Wow.
I love it. Finally.
One hour's next.